And people, they're constantly doing it. They get something in the mail and they can't pay, or the bill's overdue, and they cry the blues about the bill. Oh, I can't afford to pay this. I can't afford to pay this. And this genie in themselves said, hey, wait a minute. That's a want. You just stated I can't afford that. I take that as a want. Therefore, I cause everything to happen in your life where you can't pay that. Oh, I don't want this to happen in my life. Hey, I accept that as what you want, because I only accept everything as true. So therefore, I will bring more in your life of what you don't want. Most people on earth suffer from and because of the belief in not enoughness. Isn't that ridiculous? Here we have an infinite universe. Infinite possibilities. And the average person believes, because they've been taught from childhood, that there is just not enough to go around. And that very belief in not enoughness of whatever to go around is the very cause of greed and all kind of warfare and robbery and murders and so forth and so on. Due to that one belief in not enoughness, which of course causes the person to suffer lack and limitation. And they see what someone else has that appears to have more than them, and they go in and they want to take it. Nations do it, people do it, and nations only mimic what people do as individuals, because nations are no more than a collective of individuals. And as the individual think within that nation, so too does the nation go. It's pure and simple. So, now, why is that the case? Well, I'm going to tell you why. Why? Understand this, if you don't understand nothing else. Your mind is only able to accept either, meaning a want or something I do not want, as a true premise, and will outpicture that which is wanted or that which is not wanted. It will outpicture either, because it accepts both as a statement. It is, I don't want this. Well, that's a statement. And it accepts that as, all it perceives is, no, it doesn't think about the words now. Remember, it isn't the words that are so important. It is the image that is all important. Because a person can speak Russian or any language. So I can say, well, I don't want this. But hey, that's just words. But when I say I don't want this to occur in my life, I am at the same time visualizing a certain condition or whatever. I am seeing that image in my mind. And it is the image that the mind locks onto, not the words now. It is the image that the mind locks onto. The words just allude to the mental image. And by the law of reversibility, which I discussed a week or so ago, the law simply says the law of reversibility. You thought the thought, and since I, the subconscious mind, I only deal with deductive logic, the thought being of I don't want this or I do want that, that is a specific statement. And I, your subconscious mind, I only deal with specifics. And since that is a specific statement, by the law of reversibility, I take that specific statement and by the law of attraction, I reverse it and it becomes the general condition in your life. Either of a want, which is magnified, or even as a not one, which is magnified. The mind cares less because it doesn't judge either one. You follow me? Good or bad. It is the human ego that does all of the judging and the condemning and the passing blame and passing the buck. What I'm telling you is, and I use this technique all the time. I live a charmed life. And I'm trying to teach you what has taken me the better part of 3 decades to really understand. That is, I create all my reality, every moment of it. I can't blame mother, father, sister, brother, whoever, is I. And I do it with my thoughts. How? By the greatest law in the universe, the law of attraction. I become what I think. I attract what I think. There is no law greater than that. And that's the bottom line. You attract what you are inwardly. No matter what you're telling someone verbally, what are you really thinking inwardly? Then that is exactly what you will attract sooner or later in your life. So, if you want to get rid of a condition or a whatever, it could be a person. And if you want to get rid of that person, you want that person out of your life, or that thing or condition out of your life, don't think about the person. Don't think about the thing. Don't think about wanting the person out of your life. I want this person out of my life. I want this condition out of my life. I want this thing out of my life. Instead, think from the end, not about the end. Now, what do I mean by that? You want this whatever person, place, or condition out of your life. Then you imagine yourself in that state. You be so. You be that state inwardly. And you see it from your imaginative point of view. You are creating the mental image of that whatever not being in your life. You see it. It's no longer there. Now you don't care about how it disappeared. That's the work of the universe. It knows how to do whatever. You just see what it is as not being there. And accept that as the reality at the very now moment. And pump all the emotions that you can muster. How do I feel about it? How do I really feel? Do I really feel inwardly that it's not there? Am I able to conjure up and see it clearly in my mind? Touch it, taste it, feel it, so forth and so on. And when you're able to do that inside, you are viewing it from a participant's viewpoint. In other words, think from the end, not about the end. To think from it means you are a participant. I forgot to take that O out of there. It isn't a participant. It should be participant. Otherwise, you are only an onlooker.